Hey everyone, welcome back to the Eternal Devlog. It has been about 4 weeks since my last video, and I wanted to give a real update on where the project is, why I've been quiet, and what I've actually been working on behind the scenes. Short version, I've not stopped working on Eternal, but for the last few weeks, the work has shifted away from direct gameplay development and into something that's just as important for the future of the project, building the foundation around the game. Over the past month, I've been updating my NSF grant proposal, working with Georgia Tech to prepare for a potential NASA submission, rebuilding my business website, and creating a capability statement for ATR technology. So while there may not be a huge new gameplay system to show off this week, there's still been a lot of progress. It's just a different kind of progress. This is about turning Eternal from a solo prototype into something that can be presented as a real interactive simulation platform. And that is something I think is worth talking about. Eternal started as a game, but the more I build it, the more I realize a lot of the systems I'm creating have potential beyond traditional gameplay. The lattice cascade, energy balance, polarity systems, planetary movement, field interactions, and emergent behavior are all game mechanics. They are also visual models. They are ways to make abstract scientific ideas feel interactive, readable, and alive. That is the direction I've been focusing on in the proposal work. The goal is not to turn Eternal into a dry educational tool. That is definitely not the plan. The goal is to keep the game fun, visual, and immersive, while also building systems that can support STEM learning, science communication, simulation-based exploration, and potentially outreach applications for organizations like NASA. That is where the grant work comes in. I've been working on framing Eternal as an interactive simulation platform built in Unity that can visualize complex systems in real time. Instead of describing ideas like energy balance, resonance, polarity, collapse, repair, and field interaction, the player can actually see and interact with those systems. That is the bigger vision I've been trying to communicate through the NSF and NASA material. I also updated ATR technology website so the company side of the project is clearer. That includes better messaging around simulation, STEM visualization, prototype development, and the Eternal platform itself. Alongside that, I created a capability statement. Capability statement is basically a one-page summary of what the company does, what the technology is, and how it could align with the government, education, research, and outreach opportunities. This is the process that has been a huge learning curve. And honestly, it has been a reminder that building something ambitious is not only about the prototype. Sometimes you have to build a structure that gives the prototype a chance to grow. As a solo developer, it is easy to think progress only counts when there is a new enemy, a new ability, a new shader, or a new gameplay system. But I'm starting to realize that if I want Eternal to become what I believe it can become, I also have to build the business, funding, and the communication side of the project. That means proposals, that means outreach, that means explaining the project clearly to people who may not be game developers. And that means learning how to describe the technology without losing the creative heart of the game. The challenge now is balancing both sides. I still need to keep building the actual game loop. The lattice cascade still needs to become more readable and fun. The energy systems need to connect more clearly to pickups, abilities, polarity, and player decision making. And the core gameplay needs to become something that feels good moment to moment, not just interesting as a system. That is the next major development goal. Now that the proposal materials, website, and capability statement are in a better place, I want to get back to the game itself and continue shaping the lattice cascade into something that feels more like a complete gameplay loop. The current direction is to make the lattice feel less like a background system and more like an active actor in the world. Nodes, edges, polarity, collapse, repair, energy drops, and player interaction should all start connecting together. The player should be able to read what is happening, respond to it, and make meaningful choices based on energy, polarity, and mode. That is where I think the fun is going to start emerging. Not just from one ability or one enemy, but from the way the systems interact. That is the part I'm excited to get back into. So this week's update is a little different. It's not a big flashy gameplay reveal. It's more of a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to push an ambitious indie project forward when the goal is bigger than just finishing a prototype. Sometimes development means writing code. Sometimes it means debugging systems for 3 days because one node refuses to activate. And sometimes it means writing proposals, building a company website, creating capability documents, and trying to explain the vision clearly enough that other people can see the potential too. That is where Eternal is right now. The game is still moving forward. The vision is actually becoming clearer. And the next step is to bring that clarity back into the prototype so the gameplay, the science, and the visual systems all start supporting each other. Thanks for sticking with the project during the quiet stretch. In the next devlogs, I want to get back into the lattice cascade, energy pickups, polarity behavior, and core gameplay loop. The goal is still the same. Build something fun, visual, experimental, and hopefully meaningful. I'll see you in the next one.